This week on Special Assignment, an elderly patient's abuse and neglect in Mamelodi Hospital caught on camera.
Is that right, huh? What happened to the out that they gave when they took the job? What happened to the love and care for old people?
South African human.
In recent weeks, and a mere 9 months after this incident, the Gauteng Health Department reaches a settlement with the family in what many believe is a record time.
The part that we needed to do was to actually deal with the patient, how they feel, and also as a department taking some accountability.
The family believes it's the video evidence that exploded on social media that pushed the case forward.
They saw her lying there with her hands tied behind her back to a steel bench next to a toilet. You couldn't deny that.
The public healthcare sector continues to face crippling challenges.
You'll find a situation where 3 nurses have to nurse close to 40 patients in a 40-bedded ward. Our patients, therefore, they are not getting quality nursing care.
Where does this leave elderly patients who are especially vulnerable? The date is May 2019. Days after Martha Maree celebrates her 76th birthday, the great-grandmother starts feeling unwell. The family asks neighbour Esmeralda Cupido to accompany the elderly Martha to the local clinic. There she's put on a drip and the family is advised to take her to Mamelodi Hospital.
Sy het net gekla van haar mag gaan nie uit nie. Ek het haar kliniek toegevat en toe sê die dokter hy wil nie vir haar iets gee nie. Hulle moet 'n gastroscoop doen. Hy gaan na hospitaal stuur, so uit vir my gevra, ek moet asseblief nie laat sy alleen gaan met die ambulance, ek moet daar saam na gaan. So ek het saam na gegaan, ek het daar gebly die hele dag. Die maandag het hulle nog het sy nie 'n bed gehad, so sy het in 'n reistool gesit. Die dinsdagoggend toe ek daar kom, so sy nog steeds in dieselfde reistool met die drip wat sy by die kliniek gekry het, nog steeds aan haar arm. So hulle het dit nog nie eens gesien nie.
Hours later, her daughter Stephanie is assured over the phone that her mother has been given a bed inside the casualty ward. Later that night, the family waits outside the hospital for the doors to open at 8 o'clock for visiting hours. But nothing could prepare them for what they would discover minutes later.
So when they've opened the doors, we went in. We were walking like in a row, and then Marilyn was behind me. And Esmeralda knew where was my mother, which bed she was lying, and she still said, Auntie Martha's lying on that bed there.
Toe die visiting, deure oopgaan vir visiting, toe loop ek nog straight na die bed toe waar ek haar gelos het die middag. En met die skree een van die meisies wat saam met ons was, nee man, hier lê Auntie Martha. En ek draai terug, maar op die bed wat sy gelê het, lê 'n ander vrou met die kombers wat haar eie kombers wat ons van die huis af gebring het en oor haar gegooi het en haar klere lê wild verstrooi op die vloer.
So then Marilyn said, there's Mama. So I looked around and then I looked back, I walked, and then because it was unbelievable for me. So I looked back and it's really my mother. So I ran to her, I said, Mama, what have they done to you?
En ek sê nog vir die een kleindogter van haar, sal jy nie te phone vat 'n video. Want soos ons skree vir hulp, kom niemand te help nie en ek sê nee, vat 'n video. Want die mense gaan ons afstry.
What you guys done of you? Is that right, man? Is that right, huh? Is that right, man? Huh? Is that another method that you guys can use? Huh? It's my mother, this man, she's proper 76 years old. And this is what you're doing to her. A hospital that's supposed to look after her. Huh? This is what you do to my mother. She just says, I am so grateful. I'm so happy to see you. You must have got a feeling that they wanted to kill Mama.
The family frantically tries to free their mother. Their desperate pleas are ignored by hospital and security staff.
This is what you do to my mother. Please come and make her loose. They were standing in a circle at the desk, all of them, sisters and doctors. And I said, sorry, guys, who tied my mother up like this? One of them turned around and she said, we're busy in a meeting. And that's when I said, I don't care about your meeting. Come and untie my mother. Come and loosen my mother. It was not right what you are doing. But they totally ignore me. Nobody said anything. And then I thought to myself, I'm not going to get help. So I went back to my mom. As I got there, I was trying, we were struggling. Even people that came to visit their family members, they also assisted them.
Stephanie says despite her frantic screams, her mother was only freed half an hour later.
I just saw the one sister. She came, but she was standing at the door and with her hands folded like this. I assume at that time she told the security to come and untie my mother. That's when the security came. That is why I told them, isn't there another method that you guys could have used? Instead of tying her up next to the toilets with dirty plates and stuff laying around her, at the front seat there was a catheter laying there on the bench. I mean, and there's two young boys standing there laughing at my mother. It was like she was a circus.
By now it's clear that the elderly Martha had been restrained for hours. She's hungry and dehydrated.
We bought Lucozade in Komazi in Ultramaltval. That was one of the saddest parts also for me. Because the minute we took it out of the packet, she grabbed that box. Not even a dog is treated like that. She grabbed that box and she was like, like she was shivering and she had the other thing. I said, Mama, no. Wait, take it slowly. And she grabbed everything and she held it like that, scared we're gonna take it away from her. But then she had the Unkomazi, Ultra Milk and the Lucozade, like all in one. So I just left her. When she was finished, she said, yeah, now I'm okay. I want to go home. I said, Mama, we can't take you home. No, I don't want to stay here. They're going to kill me. They want to kill me. I said, Mama, I can't take you home.
The family realized that Martha is in no physical state to return home with them. They have to make the difficult decision to leave her at the hospital.
One thing that I promised myself, I'm not going to leave there if my mother's not asleep. One security guy came and you could see, his name is Solly. And he really felt like, he could see the pain that we were in. How sad, I was really crying. For me, it wasn't nice to see that. Then he said, no, he's going to look for a bed. Then, amazingly, this security guy came with a bed. He put the bed, and by that time, the eyes wanted to go now. He even went to get clean linen for me. Put the linen on, we put my mother on the bed, and then they strapped her up properly. One end on this side, one end on the other. And then that time she was now really out. She couldn't fight back. And then I told her, I said, Mama, it's okay, I'll see you tomorrow. And I asked the securities, please, just look after my mother. As you can see, these people, not one of them came out to assist us.
By the time the 76-year-old Martha Murray falls asleep inside Mamelodi Hospital's casualty ward after her traumatic ordeal, it's already past 11 o'clock at night. It's only once her daughter Stephanie gets to the car that she realizes a family member filmed part of the incident inside the hospital.
I knew the one lady was taking a photo, but I was not aware of the video up until we left 2011. When we got into the car, that's when they showed me the video.
Stephanie decides to call this woman, her cousin and trusted confidant, Virginia Kepler. Virginia has been a seasoned journalist for more than 2 decades.
I was just crying when I saw the video. I was like, I couldn't understand how it's possible that something like that was happening. And so I called Stephanie and I asked her, what are you going to do about this? We cannot leave it like that. And she was in such a state, she didn't know what. She was just crying. She said, I don't know what I'm going to do about it. And I asked her to trust me. And she said, I trust you, and you do what you need to do with it. About 10 or 5 minutes past 12 that night, I posted on my Facebook page, and I also tweeted it. And by 4 o'clock, people were just calling me up. On my tweet, Tuli Maronsela was one of the first people commenting, saying that, when if we become so inhumane, and she said this needs for speedy investigation, and she tagged the Minister of Health in a tweet. And following that, the Health Department inboxed me, and the ball was just started to roll. But it was an explosion. It went viral. It went all over the world. I mean, I got calls from Hungary, from America, from everywhere. But people wanted to know what is happening, people requesting interviews. And I said to the family, we need to do these interviews. Not just for Uma Martha, but to prevent this from happening again.
Now, the Gauteng MEC of Health, Dr. Bandile Masuku, has demanded answers from the management of the Mamelodi Hospital east of Pretoria over the alleged abusive behavior towards a pensioner. Now, a video of a 76-year-old Martha Maria went viral, showing her lying on the floor with her hands tied behind her back at a bench.
Martha Maria's case would make news headlines and dominate social media in the weeks following the incident. It would become a litmus test for the newly appointed Gauteng Health MEC, Bandile Masuku.
It's the first case that I responded to after being sworn in as MEC. And it's one that defines how we're going to be moving forward as the administration and as the department, that we want to be responsive, we want to be activist, and when I say responsive, it means that we want to deal with all the complaints and problems that are faced by people in our facilities at the given time.
Masuku acted fast and met with the Maree family shortly after the incident went public. A security guard, 2 doctors and a nurse were placed on special leave. A mediation process was set up with the help of the South African Human Rights Commission.
Redress must not take a long time. It must be done as speedily as possible so that it has greater impact in resolving the matter.
But social commentators believe the public way in which the family brought this to the authorities' attention put huge pressure on the department to act fast.
It really opened a lot of eyes to a lot of people. There's a lot of people that experienced situations, even though it may not be similar, but they also experience abusive behaviors from that hospital.
Never before have we had such evidence, never ever. People said, this is what happened to us in the hospitals, this is what we went through, but they didn't have pictures, and it was their word against the health department's word. But here it was undeniable. Nobody could deny it. They saw her lying there with her hands tied behind her back to a steel bench next to a toilet. You couldn't deny that.
It's a good spin to it, that it actually puts pressure on us, to be speedily and to be rapid in response and also to be accountable. But the second downfall about it is that it then takes away the confidentiality and the privacy of the patient.
9 months after the incident, the 76-year-old Martha Maree now requires a caretaker 24 hours a day.
As jy inkom dan sal sy groot eer, maar sy wou nie in die kamer uitkom nie. Na die voorval nie. Gewoonlik as sy sit ons na buite of ek vat haar vir 'n stappie winkel toe. En dan sal sy almal groet wat sy verbygaan. Nou was sy nie sommer uit die hart uit gaan nie. Sy baie aandag nou nodig, want sy is op die kimbies nou. En so het altyd zorg dat sy droog is, dat sy nie seertjies kry of dat sy nie val. Sy kan ook nie reg loop, sy loop met die een kurk. En sy kan nie een been goed balanceer, so sy val baie keer.
My mother used to walk from point A to point B, from point B to point C. She used to visit the children on her own. She had a huge setback because of this matter. I had to get care, somebody to look after her 24 hours. Because now that we don't talk about it anymore, she doesn't relate back to this incident so much.
Martha Maree needs regular medical care, but because of her traumatic experience, the great-grandmother refuses to step foot in Mamelodi Hospital again.
Nooit weer zonder
Dat is het.
nooit extra salon.
Nee, ons gaan maar weer nie. Ons gaan maar so rabbi Steve die kom mama se weet mos daar by aan die enetjie. Ja. Sal nooit weer daar, nooit.
Ik zie nu dat voor Koekiko. Ik dacht, dat klaar mijn hart afgezet. En toen voel ik me net, ja, vandaag ga ik dood. Er is niemand wat me kan helpen. Alright, maak maar zo die rubben.
Toe dank al ons sal nie terugkom.
Zo dat gevoel.
Appointed a new CEO.
In recent weeks, Gauteng Health MEC Bandile Masuku announced that a settlement has been reached with the Maree family. The details of the settlement will not be disclosed by the department or the family. Medical negligence cases have seen a staggering increase in recent years, and according to reports, the National Health Department, under the Democratic Dispensation, has had to pay a shocking 80.4 billion rand in medical negligence cases. Mediation is fronted as a more affordable alternative.
It has demonstrated that we can reduce cost tremendously. You know, after the case of Ms. Maree, we have almost done 12 other cases, which ordinarily would have not completed in a space of 2 months. You know, they went on for years.
It has been handled in such a quick time, in 9 months. Already there's an outcome. There's a, the Department of Health has admitted their fault, and they've agreed to a settlement with the family. But it hasn't happened before. The mediation process that the MEC instituted was of great beneficial to both the health department and, the family. And we are hoping to see more of these kinds of settlement agreements, or these kinds of addressing the wrongs in the health system.
The Maree family believes that in its case, the assistance of the South African Human Rights Commission helped them reach a settlement faster.
Poor people don't have money to go to court. And that is what the health department bargained on in the past. No, let them sue us. Let them take us to court. They will do that the first month and they'll go on, but they will lose interest because they don't have money. So in the end, nothing is rectified, and the people is not, they didn't apologize to them, because in most cases people just need to say, we are admitting our wrong and we're sorry.
But the family feels those responsible for tying their mother to a bench have not been held responsible.
Now the MEC, which was not even part of their concoction or their decision, had to apologize on their behalf, which I've got the utmost respect for the MEC, because he really handled this situation with a lot of passion, a lot of love, and a lot of care.
The MEC said in his last meeting with the family that he takes responsibility for everything. Some people even suggested that, but then he should be fired. Because in the end, someone must take responsibility. Listen, this is not just about the financial settlement that I did with the family. It's not about the money. It's about someone must really take responsibility. And if it's the MEC, we need to see change. We need to see drastic changes, and not just at Mamelodi Day Hospital, in all provincial hospitals.
While the CEO of the hospital was replaced last year following the incident, and other staff were placed on special leave, the internal investigation into the matter at Mamelodi Hospital is yet to be concluded.
I think the issue is the process. The process is so laborious, because we have to go through labor relations, we have to go through representations of unions, and that takes and it drags on for longer. And that's why it's one of the reasons that I didn't want it to be combined with our outcomes here, because then it will drag on forever.
We expected this, but we expected more. We expected more, and we're still waiting for the final report from the Department of Health, because in that we asked for certain redresses.
While the families of patients who suffer medical malpractice call for consequences for those responsible, healthcare professionals say the system is overburdened and hospitals are understaffed.
You are actually forced to work so fast to deal with the crowd which is waiting outside. So you are treating patients basically as if you are running a conveyor belt. And the way we are trained, you need to have a conversation with the patient. Give yourself time, because in that process, you'll be in a position to pick up quite a lot of challenges. And at times, the patients only need a moment to talk to somebody professional. And then you'll find out that the problem is even bigger than what the patient came into hospital for.
Yes, they need to be accountable for their actions. Secondly, we need to make sure that we have put across proper training for them, and we need to be able to retrain and reskill them and rehabilitate them in a way. But in a sense that a person then is a persistent behavior, which is off like that, then it means it will require us to then take extra steps outside that.
To date, no staff member at Mamelodi Hospital admitted guilt or apologized to the family. This remains a bitter pill for Martha Marais' loved ones to swallow.
No one of them even came to assist me. No one of them came to say sorry. No one of them wanted to take the responsibility. What the night shift sister in charge told me, it was the day shift. So, if you've got a passion for your job, you've seen there's a 76-year-old tied underneath a bench. You just, because you couldn't walk past my mother, you could not. It's impossible, because it was next to the toilets. Why did she walk past my mother? Why did all of them walk past my mother? Why did the doctor leave my mother to lay there? Why did all the personnel leave my mother on that floor? I can't look them in the face, because at the end of the day, they've got no passion. What happened to the out that they gave when they took the job? What happened to the love and care for old people?